back to Final Girl. We're having Sheila versus Dr. Fright in Maple Lane. Ooh, yeah, it's going to be a rough one. All right, the cards we have are Convince, Search, Focus, and Walk. And so I think the first thing we want to do is we want to do a search right here in the house that we are currently in. And we're going to try and get that knife. Let's see if we can do it. We're rolling 2 dice as per the horror track. So we'll get out the dice tray, roll them up, and see what we can get. Come on, successes! Oh, this is so painful. We haven't rolled 1 success yet. So we would either take the top item of your space, get 2 horror, and lose 2 time, or just get 1 horror and lose. We have to discard 2 cards. We have to discard 2 cards. Oh, this hurts so bad, because then we can take the top item of your space, lose 1 time. The 2 cards, what are we going to discard? I guess we're going to discard... Oh, we're going to discard Convince and Focus to get 1 success. Ooh, well, at least we get that item. We only lose 1 time. Alright, well, at least we successfully searched in the southwest. We do get the top item. We don't get to look at anything else, though. We get the knife. And at least it's better than trying to punch it. Barely. So, yeah, it would do 1 extra damage if we do any damage. So we're going to put that in our hand. So now we have a knife. Yay. Alright. Wow. Oh, and when you search in one of the houses, you can only search in the house once. And we put a little X on there, which means we cannot search in this house ever again the rest of this playthrough. So that's done. We're finished with that house. Do I even want to try and walk? We want to try to walk to get to the Smalleys house. I think we're going to have to try. This is our last card. Oh, God. Can we see the dice? We can. We're going to roll 2 dice. Come on, we get a success. What did we get? We got no successes. Absolute, wow, absolute garbage. So, and we don't have any more cards left, so we fail. We have 2 options. We can move 1 space, take a damage, lose 2 time, or just lose 2 time. We're going to move 1 space. We're going to move out of the house to here, back to the street. We're going to take another damage. So we've taken 2 damage. Now we're down to 4 health. That's absolutely horrible. And we lose 2 time, so we're down to 3 time. And that's the end of our that's the end of our actions. Oh, this is absolutely horrible. Off to a rotten start. You know, we haven't rolled 1 success yet. Not 1. I'm going to swap these dice out because they're horrible. Let's try 2 different ones. Okay, well, that was our action phase, as horrible as it was. Now we're to the planning phase. We can purchase action cards. So we have 3 to purchase. Let's go to the tableau of cards and spend 3. Alright, well, we're going to be spending 3. We do get all of our 0 cards back because they don't cost anything. So as you can see at the bottom, they're all zeros. We get those back. And we have 3, and I have to think about what we want. Alright, it's purchase card time. We have 3 time to spend only. Oh, that's horrible. And I don't know. We could get a distraction, get our horror back down. But I think we've got to move for sure. So if we get a sprint for 2, and then we'll get a convince for 1. And that's what we're going to do. That's it. And we do get all the 0 cards back. Of course, we've already done that. And yeah, so that's going to be it. Now we have to put these cards back. So we have a 0 focus, we have a search, or with search we have the convince, and a 0 walk. Alright, that was our purchasing of cards. We're setting our timer back to 6. And it is time for the killer phase. Alright, looking at Dr. Fright, he would just be attacking either a victim or the final girl in the space he's in currently, but of course he's at the intersection looking around and there's nobody there, so he won't be doing any slaying this moment. So yes, of course. The next thing we do is a terror card. We're quickly running out of these, actually. Terror card. Frankie's coming for you. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw. Well, there is. So he's going to move. He's going to target victims and move, and then he's going to do this. Ugh! Okay. Oh, actually, this is not too terrible. Let's zoom in on the board and work this out. All right, we're going to resolve this card. Frankie's coming for you, and he's going to target victims. So not the final girl, but victims, and then he's going to move. He has a movement of 1 only, and he will go to the closest victim, or victims, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 victims, all equally close. So let's resolve it with a die roll, and we'll see what we get. So let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we get a 5 or 6, so 1... No, come on. We get a 3. 1, 2, 3. So he will move 1 space here. He is trying to get into this house with the most people. It only thematically makes sense, doesn't it? Oh my lord, that's horrible. And if Dr. Fright is in a space with at least 1 victim, 2 horror. Otherwise, 1 horror. Ugh. Well, at least we only go up 1 horror on the track. You can just see it here. It's going to be going to 5. All right, we're in the panic phase, and there's going to be no panicking happening. In the upkeep phase, no, we have nothing to do, so now we are back to our action phase. And, oh my goodness, we need to try and save the Smalleys. Well, try to, anyway. Oh my goodness. All right, we have convince, sprint, focus, weak attack, short rest, walk. We have the walk, and we're going to go ahead and just use walk because we only need to go 1 space to get to the front door, and then we're going to try and convince them to let us in there. Please let us in. So, we're going to walk, and Frankie's out there in the street, but of course he's in Dreamland, so, yeah, 2 dice. Oh, come on! We have such garbage luck in this playthrough. So we have to ditch 2 cards to get 1 success, or we can lose another health. Oh man, and lose 2 times. No, we're gonna discard 2 cards to get 1 success. So we will discard weak attack and short rest. Ooh, to get 1 success and lose 1 time. So we're gonna lose a time. And we get to move 1 space. Alright, we do a little close-up here. We are moving 1 space to here, and that's the driveway to going into the Smalleys' house. We are now in the same location as Dr. Fright. Now remember though, we have to be dreaming, we have to be asleep to able to attack him, and he cannot attack us when we're awake, so there's that. He'll still come for us, but he can't attack us. So that's actually could be a tactic, because if a terror card tells him to move towards us, he will. But he won't attack because he can't. We're not asleep. Okay, what do we want to do next? We have played the walk. We had to burn 2 cards to do it. We have these 3 cards left. So we're going to do convince. We're going to try and get into the house with the Smalleys and hope for the best. Oh my goodness, that's what we're going to try. We're going to back camera out. We're going to roll some dice. Okay, we're going to try and convince the Smalleys to let us in their house. And let's keep in mind, we have friendly neighbors. And what friendly neighbors means is we get an extra die when resolving the convince action. Yes! So, 2 dice. We're going to be rolling 3 dice for convince. Let's hope we get a really lots of successes. He said, well, we get 1 success and we can dump 2 cards. Do we want to dump 2 cards? Just enter without burning any time. Or we can enter the adjacent house and burn 1 time. No, we're going to burn 1 time down to 4, and we get to enter the adjacent house, which is right here. Alright, so much for rolling 3 dice. At least we got 1 success, and we lost our time. Alright, I think the only other thing we can try to do is focus. But if we blow the focus, we're going to burn a lot of time. But we can get the horror back a little bit. Sprint. We want to hang on. You know, I don't think we're going to do anything. I'm going to sit in here. We're sitting in the Smalleys' house, and we're going to just suck it up. That's going to be the end of our action phase. And now we're into the planning phase, which means you get to buy cards. So we have these 2. Let's go over and purchase cards. We have 4 time to spend. Alright, in the cards we have a couple of cards, of course. 0 cards, the walk, focus. We are just going to grab them, of course. And now we have 4 to spend. And I think we are going to take a distraction for 3. A distraction for 3, and let's get 1 close call for 1. And that's going to be all of our time spent. And now we put the timer back to 6, and now it's the killer phase. Oh yes, it's the lovely killer phase, and he would immediately attack anyone in his space, but he's out in the street by himself, so he does nothing. Except now we draw a terror card. A terror card, and these of course are terrible. So if he's in a location with the final girl or a victim, he will slash them, but he's not. Cool. Then he's going to target the final girl, and yeah, he's entering the Smalleys' house. He gets to move 1 space. Guess what? Join the party. He moves right in here and is slashy, slashy. So he will kill 1 victim, and I do believe we get to choose which one. He's going to kill a regular into the dead spot, and the track here goes up 1. So he's gone right into the house of the final girl, and 2 Smalleys and 2 victims, and taken 1 out. All victims that are not inside of a house, which would be what this is, panic! But yep, everyone's inside of a house. However, we are going to have panicking. Of course, final girl doesn't panic, but we have 1, 2, 3. So we're going to roll the first die is the yellow, the second orange, the third one is white. And to run out of the house, they need a 1, 2, or 3. So the first yellow victim, a 1. He runs out into the street. And the second one is a 4. Oh, the Smalley stays there, and the last Smalley, a 4, also stays there. So the Smalleys are like, we're not leaving our house. And the final girl is there, and there we are. So actually thematically not bad. He goes in, slays 1 of the regular victims. The other one just hightails it out to the street, but the Smalleys are like, hey, this is our house and we're not going anywhere. Oh man. Everything was done. Oh, and I do believe, yes, we go up 1 on the horror track. I almost forgot, because every time... Oh, no, you don't go up on the horror when you get slay a victim? Oh, we do. We do right here. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, there's the horror mask on this. We went up the tick, so yeah, the horror level goes up here. I think I caught everything. Ugh. So that was the panic phase. Upkeep. There's no upkeep. And that's going to end it off. So we're going to zoom down a little bit on seeing what's going on, wrap up our episode for today. Alright, well that was quite something here in Maple Lane. So we entered the building, the Smalleys' house, because we want to save these guys. The reason we want to save them is because every time that he kills them, he gets a +1 on his bloodlust track, which is terrible. Alright, so thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Maple Lane, Dr. Fright versus Sheila. I'll see you next time for the continuation. And yes, I forgot to put these cards away at the end of the end of the phase there. So 3 0 cards. We'll just go here, and a convince. We'll go there, and that just gets that set up. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Continuation, Sheila versus Dr. Fright in Maple Lane.